What's going on, guys? Aladdin's Castle here. Welcome to the movie series where I take some of my favorite movies, make it kind of like a theme deck about it, and see if I'm able to play it at locals and build a competitive deck out of it. I also got a more budget-friendly deck that I'll show afterwards, but we're just going to go ahead and go straight to the deck profile. So today's deck is going to be the Aladdin theme deck. I ran with Sapphire, Ruby. Pretty much covers Aladdin, Jasmine, so those are like the main characters. So we're just going to start off with the 1-cost ink, which I only run 4. We start off with Flounder. He's a 2/2. Now, because of the restrictions on the ink in this game and the mechanics, you can only have up to 2 different colored inks. So that's why you're not going to see all these characters, because there's only certain characters for each color. So you'll see a lot of crossover characters. But you got Flounder. I like him more than Tibbs, but preference. 2-cost ink. We have 1 jump ahead from the Aladdin series.
1 jump ahead of the bread line.
You're basically ramping up a little bit so you can play your bigger bombs. So that's very helpful on turn 2. Another 2-cost ink is for Gramma. She's also good too, just to kind of crash into your other opponent's characters. She kind of ramps herself, so you're not necessarily losing stuff from hand in order to ink. So she's good in certain situations. Good against like those weak, like Lilos and stuff, and 1-drop cards. And then I ran 3 Gastons. He's mainly there to go against Cusco. A lot of the 4, health characters. He's just mainly there for that. Helps against aggro. And then the last 2 cost drops are 3 LeFou. He synergizes with the big Aladdin. He could ready your character and then they could challenge again. They can't quest, but he can save your other characters from getting challenged back. So you could kind of do some fun plays with him. Onto the 3-cost ink, we run 4 Aladdin. He shifts into the big Aladdin, so that's like your main play, your main theme of the deck. Also kind of helps against aggro too, because your opponent loses 1 lore as well. So he helps kind of in the tempo play for that. And of course, run Jasmine as well. You also shift into the big Jasmine. She's just the 2 lore pressure. She's a 3/3, so she could trade into a lot of 3-cost cards as well. And she's just, of course, there for the theme. And then to round off another Aladdin package is for Abu. He's another beefy guy, 3/2, quest for 2. So again, he can trade with a lot of characters that also have 3 health. I don't run any 4 jobs because I do kind of ramp between 1 jump ahead and Gramma. So the 5 costs now, I ran 4 Maui. Maui's so good, like he could just take out like any character, any big body. So he's kind of there just for that purpose, just to kind of board clear.
Can you make me a prince?
Then I ran 4 Maleficents. 3 lore characters are really good in this game, obviously, so puts a lot of pressure, especially if you're able to ramp like turn 4. There's really not too many cards that can get rid of a 5-cost 3 lore character, so she puts a lot of pressure. Then I ran 4 Jasmine. You could shift into her. She heals 2 damage to all your characters whenever you play her and whenever she quests. So you could challenge a lot of characters, like say you're challenging with Aladdin, play Jasmine, heal Aladdin, and then maybe challenge again with like LeFou or something like that. So you could do a couple, synergistic plays. And Jasmine is just, she's the best.
Yes.
Next, for your removal package, I run 4 Let It Goes. You could sing this with Aladdin, Aladdin, Jasmine, all that, Maleficent, and it's just really hard board clear. So sometimes you need that in the deck against certain matchups. Then I ran 4 Aladdins, shift into the smaller Aladdin. He could save so many games. It prevents your opponent from really tapping out or exhausting their characters, because they don't want to lose a lore. When you challenge the character and they're banished, your opponent loses 2 lore and you gain 2 lore. So this really helps like with the tempo swings of your plays. And then I also ran 4 Hades. Another great removal in blue. I mean, you're running Sapphire, you got to run it. It just puts another threat into their inkwell, and it's just a beefy character as well. And then I ran 2 Be Prepareds. You're going to need some type of board clear against decks that go wide. Naturally, blue can't really handle wide decks, so you need other ways to deal with it besides like your 1-to-1 trades. So Be Prepared just helps against like the wide boards, Amber Steel, and then also like Stitch package. And And then the big guys, I run 3 Mickey Mouse. Kind of catches a lot of people off guard. Most people don't run it, but you're able to ramp up a little bit faster than your opponent. And if they don't have an answer for this, it's just going to swing for at least 4 lore. And then if they keep it there too long, you pretty much win the game. And then 3 Maleficents, another great removal too. You're able to run this pretty much into the late game because you're ramping up as well. And it's just another big beefy body. So that is the more competitive version of the deck. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys about the more budget version that you guys can kind of replace with certain cards. Especially a lot of the cards that are like too expensive. So like Let It Goes, those are like $10. So you could replace it with like Dragonfire, even though it's uninkable, but it's another removal that could easily replace Let It Go, so that saves you another 30-40 bucks. And then I ran a evasive package, which consists of Pongo and Goofy, and this could replace a lot of like your bigger drops, like your Mickeys, your Maleficents, your Hades. It's still hard to get rid of these guys if your opponent doesn't have any removal, so they have to answer these evasives too as well if they're going to go against your deck. Another card that could kind of replace some of your higher drops are Mufasa. He's just really there just for the 3 lore quest. Like, he's just super strong. He could replace like your other big guys. And then Chief Tui is another decent one. He's kind of like a removal / threat too. He gains support too whenever he quests, so he could add his power into somebody else to kind of trade in. But the point is pretty much to ramp up to your 3 lower characters, and you could top deck a lot of these as well too, so it really demands a lot of answer from your opponent. But yeah, that is basically the movie series for Aladdin. I hope you guys like it. That's pretty much my favorite deck or favorite movie. That's what my channel is based upon, and I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to have more movie themes in the future, so stay tuned, and we'll see you guys in the next video.